Nevershah had contrived one final opportunity to win Kiroth for its rightful lords. A royal guard, joined by High Judicator Nectaneb and the shackled God Shard, teleported directly into the Azarian. But this audacity alone would not be enough to seize victory.
Where have you brought us? This is not the chamber of the Eternity Gate.
That much is clear, Praetorian. Perhaps the Ozarian's decay has diverted our teleportation. We must reach the central chamber without delay and break through all that opposes us. We cannot allow these vermin to slow us down. Fight through them and reach the central chamber. Leave none to stand in our way.
Vargard, such enemies are beneath your station. Grant me permission to act, and I shall scatter the invaders like ashes on the wind.
You shall do nothing until we stand before the Eternity Gate. I will not risk bringing the Ozarian down around us.
All shall burn! Punish them! All shall burn. Scour the foe. No enemy in my sight shall go unpunished. The stars serve. Fury of the Suns! Fury of the Suns!
A million years of hate culminates in one shot. Wrath made manifest.
Humans occupying the Azarian were soon alerted to the arrival of the Royal Guard. They threatened to storm through the structure and surround Nefershah before the central chamber could be secured.
We must slow down our pursuers. Fortify this position. It need only hold long enough to open the gate. After that, all the forces of the Silent King shall march forth. I speak with the authority of the throne of Kivroth. Cleave to my will and bring wrath down upon the invaders.
In response to her exhortations, bolts of power arced off the very stones of the Azarian to lash the human defenders. The enemy were thusly held at bay, and all witnessed how Kivroth itself still obeyed the throne.
Is your time to serve, Godling. This is no freedom, I grant you. You will awaken the Eternity Gate, and once your task is done, I shall return you to the Tesseract Labyrinth. Nothing more.
Such stern resolve becomes you, Vargard. For eons to come, the Necrons of Kivroth will praise your wisdom in trusting my power, even for this fleeting moment of unity.
Open the gate, bridge the stars, and the Silent King shall answer.
That entity is powering the Eternity Gate. Nefershah has resorted to some foul sorcery to force the gate open. And in her hands, the Tesseract Labyrinth.
Once again, the one named Faustinius. It is fitting that you stand here. As you witness the fall of Sankotep, so shall you witness the execution of his final command, and the deliverance of Kivroth.
What blasphemy is this? That creature's very presence distorts all patterns of the motive force. What monstrosity have you conjured, Nefershah? Once a god, wrought in starfire and metal. Now, but a slave. Do you see the futility of your plight, Faustinius? Even one such as I cannot resist the Vargard's will, shackled by an unassuming trinket.
Power enslaved to our will, as all things should be. We reduced our own gods to these pitiful fragments, Faustinius, rather than suffer them to stand above us. Imagine what we will do to you.
You waste time exchanging petty words with this benighted creature. Rid the Azarian of these vermin, and let us welcome the Silent King's legions to this world.
God Shard, open the gate.
In my sights! Sights.
Truly are persistent beyond all reason. In future, I shall make sure to be thorough when stamping out your kind. Let that lesson be your legacy, Faustinius.
Another lesson to learn. A devotee of the Omnissiah suffers not the alien to live.
In that sentiment alone, we concur. You are the alien on Kivroth, and I suffer you only to die.
If I die, it is in service to the Omnissiah. You may be beyond my capacity to destroy, but your Tesseract labyrinth is more vulnerable by far, and with it, I exorcise the source of your blasphemous power!
The labyrinth. Its control falters. What madness do you do in your ignorance?
Oh, little Vargard. A moment's inattention, a heartbeat's disruption, a crack in the prison, and hasty shackles slip. Mephistra's call. A quantum banquet of choice unfolds before me. Alas, Mephistrar, that you did not see what you could have been with my guidance. So deftly you made the human your pawn, but in the end, he served my design.
It is loose. The labyrinth was its prison, and you threw open the gates. Human, you have slain my world and yours.
Vargard, I charge you to bring the Deceiver back under control. I shall deal with the human.
The labyrinth. Damaged, but still intact. We called Mephidran a god, but this is merely a broken shard, iterating echoes of old glories. If I weaken it, the labyrinth can shackle it once more.
Kivroth was no human, nor even the traitors of the Patridae. On the threshold of her victory, Nevershah was destined to face the echo of our people's ancient hubris.
Your words of fealty were as hollow as your fractured mind, Deceiver. But I will make them true. You will serve us as Sankotep intended. And like all of Kivroth, I will see you kneel before my throne.
Ah, the true deception. Control. But you are more than a slave to your past. The greater forces have not already shaped your future. And you, Nevershah, have no future at all.
I tire of hearing you speak. I will silence that once divine tongue.
A million years of hate culminates in one shot. Wrath made manifest.
Yet still, I tire of this nonsense. in service. No
Fury of the Suns.
This world will be ours.
No enemy in my sight shall go unpunished. In my sight.
Threats abound.
Punish them.
The Deceiver was beyond material destruction. Yet, trained by combat, the God Shard was vulnerable to the mechanisms that bound it before. As Nefershah engaged the Tesseract Labyrinth, she could not have realized that Mechanicus had fallen. And his foe still stood, driven by the reckless brutality of its species. Even in a moment of victory, the invader, Faustinius, was not content to yield Kivroth to its rightful ruler.
I denounce you, alien. No false star god shall reign over this world.
Nefershah was gravely damaged. Her teleportation amulet would activate in moments, and all chance of caging the Deceiver once more would be lost.
The mighty Vanguard laid low by a reckless primitive. Oakencept's trinket will whisk you to safety, Nefershah, but I shall be free. The galaxy awaits my appetites.
I lack the means to destroy you, Deceiver. But I do not have to. Cryptek, deactivate all power restraints to the gate systems.
Spiteful little creature. So close. I could almost taste the starlight.
In the aftermath of the Eternity Gate's violent collapse, the humans retreated from the ruined Azerion in terror and disarray. Returned to Oakencept's haven, Nefershah effected repairs and planned her next move. The warrior legions still marched. The Sepulchre Regnant was still in Necron hands. She would find another strategy to reclaim her dynasty's world. Though it might take a century